Hi, day 12 today of the travel vlog. Are we too old? Now there's a question.
That is a question, and a question that I don't like.
Yeah, are we too old to go for freedom lifestyle? Um, it is a strange question because it is a lot of hassle and it's a lot of sorting things out
A lot of planning and
to go
preparation.
away for a year. When it was what it was is that we were discussing it, and I said to Debbie, would you prefer to go away for the 12 months or would you prefer to have lots of holidays in a year? Because some people can go away for a month. We've done that before and we liked it. So how did you feel about that, Deb, when I said
When you
staying here and going off monthly for holidays and experiencing a freedom lifestyle? But is that a freedom lifestyle? See,
and
that's the question.
that's where I think I questioned, and it brings us back to conversations that we've had previously about how to fully ingrain yourself into an environment. You can't do that on a 2 week package holiday or 2 week
Not even
trip.
a month.
It's really difficult, and I think that's more what I was looking for from the freedom lifestyle, was to actually embrace everything that area, that country, that continent has to offer. And yes, well, don't get me wrong, it would be wonderful to have the security of your home in the UK, and then just to pop off whenever you fancy it, and have the security to come back. But
It's not freedom, is it?
and it's a different experience. It's a completely different experience, and I think I wanted to be a bit more brave. I think, and
Want to be more of a gypsy?
and challenge myself, because I think quite often we cannot challenge ourselves through fear.
Yes.
And I didn't want to end up like that. I don't want to have any regrets. And whilst holidaying, several times a year is absolutely wonderful. For me, I think I wanted a bit more of an adventure, and to me, I see it as that. I see it as more of a bigger scale thing to do, and just a completely different experience.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think you have to escape, and you have to escape from your mindset. And more importantly, the mindset is key, because if you go away for a fortnight, you go away for a month, there's still things in the back of your head on what's going on at home. The bills, the house. You're always sort of thinking, oh, I hope the house is all right. You're having people check it.
Yeah.
The garden needs
Well, you
looking
have
after.
responsibilities
Exactly.
back home.
So if that's what you want, then great. But that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a freedom lifestyle. And what I think a freedom lifestyle is letting go. And that's mindset, as I said. So how do you let go and still own a property in the UK? Now there's a question.
I didn't expect that to be coming up as a question. Well, I think again that depends massively on finances, because you'd have to have quite a big chunk of finances to be able to keep a property in the UK. I would have thought.
You could rent it out.
And to go off for a year. Yes, you could rent it out, you're right. But with the laws in the UK currently around rental properties, would you be able to get your tenants out when you come back in 12 months?
Not that easy with Section 24 and all the rest of the regulations that are coming in. So yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. Now you could Airbnb it, but again, you'd need somebody to manage that.
Yeah, and something we've done, and we know that every week at least someone has to go in there and turn that room around or that accommodation around. And have we been able to find anyone over the years that we could 100% trust on doing that if it wasn't us?
It would probably only be a family member, but they are living their own lives. They are busy, they're working, they're bringing up families, so probably not. No.
Yeah, and it's very difficult to keep that kind of business going if you're not in the area.
Yes.
So again, we're talking about freedom here, aren't we? Now you can have freedom. People talk about owning businesses and being free, and owning properties and being free, and investments. So what is freedom? Freedom to me is to do what I want to do when I get up in the morning, and not worry about, i.e., someone turning up at a certain time
Mm-hmm.
to come into my B&B or my Airbnb
Mm-hmm.
or my rental accommodation. Freedom to me is to be able to decide I'm not too keen on this area, let's move on. Is that the same with you?
Yes, yeah, I would say, yeah. In a nutshell,
So
it
why
is.
would you think we would be too old for that? And why would people think that we're too old? Because
Well, I
I
think,
think people have said that about us. Have said that, haven't they? Said,
well,
aren't you a bit old for all that?
well, I think mainly behind our backs, to be honest. But and I wouldn't, and I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't be surprised by that. So it's not something that I'm shocked about. But I think that a lot of people's mindsets and thoughts around what we're doing is it's a big risk. It's a huge risk, and for the unknown, and a lot of people are uncomfortable with the unknown. And especially a lot of people will be looking at us at our age, coming up to retirement age, and thinking, why are you doing that? Why don't you just
Why are
take
you
it
gambling?
easy?
Yeah.
Well, why are you taking risks at your age? That's what youngsters do. That's what young people do when they got their whole lives in front of them. Like, why would you do it now? Don't you just want your security and your slippers and it's right though, isn't it? And I think
Yeah.
that's what
I
people.
got my first pair of slippers last year. I wasn't happy. It was a Christmas present from Debbie.
But I have to say, he has worn them.
Yes. Now, are you a slipper person or not?
You can't be a good pair of slippers. Yeah, so I think a lot of people would question our sanity, I suppose, in our reasons for doing what we do. And only we know how we feel and how we think.
Is it because do they even consider the medical side? I don't think they do consider the medical side. They think of the mindset side, don't they? Why are you doing it at that age?
Yes, and
Because-
finances. I think they think about the financial side and the hassle of what are you going to do with all of your possessions? What are you going to do with your home? What are you going to do with your car?
Everything that everybody's holding on to.
Yeah, possessions basically. So I think most people's that would be the first thing that would come to their minds, rather than, oh, what about your health? But I do think they would think about that as well, because you have to think about all of these things, and we have thought about all of these things, and we're continuing to learn every day, aren't we,
And
in our prep?
It's one of the reasons we're going at this age, to be honest with you, because of health. Now, so that's the thing. Why at this, are we too old? Well, I've seen people on YouTube, and I've spoken to people who do travel in their 70s and 80s. So I don't think it's so much about age. I think it's about mindset and health and how you feel.
Yes, I think it's mainly mindset. I think that's the key element is if you've got the right mindset, you can do anything.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I've seen videos on people who actually live on cruise ships who were much older than us. Now
Yeah.
that's not a bad
I mean,
idea.
I don't know. I don't know if I like the idea of the cruise ship, because I can only get off when we pull up to somewhere, and if I don't get back on within the 12 hours or the 24 hours, whatever the leave is,
Yeah.
I have to fly to another destination to get back on that boat.
Yeah, and you're not free. You
No.
wouldn't feel free on that.
No, see, that again to me is not freedom.
Yeah.
So, what's freedom lifestyle to you? I'd love to hear in the comments below what freedom lifestyle. What does it mean to you? Is it being free to get up and decide what you want to do every day? Is it walking away from the daily grind of your 9 to 5? Is it possible, do you think? And if you don't think it's possible, why don't you think it's possible at the age you are? So that would be interesting to find out people's opinions on that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Drop us a comment below, or if you want a one-to-one conversation with us, we pop our email in every one of our videos, and
Yeah.
we always welcome you emailing us about anything. If you want to chat, if you want to private chat, yeah, we're welcome to that, aren't we?
Definitely. So if you want to follow along our journey and see how we get on, and don't worry, there's still more to come. But do subscribe, and like Debbie said, if you want to chat, either drop us an email, comment below. But what else why do you think anybody else would say age? Because that's what the topic of today is, isn't it? Why at our age? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Why do you think people would?
I think touched on what my thoughts were. You know, it's the risks, it's the finances, it's the health, it's the thoughts of are you crazy? You know, what are you doing? Why are you upheaving your life when it's not necessary? You don't have to. Personally, I can't think of why anybody else would say that we were too old.
See, in my opinion, the too old bit, the only thing that I would feel is not having a safe, secure base at a certain age. I get that. That makes a lot of sense. But then, you know, you could lose your house tomorrow and you have to go and get another one anyway. So that is how I cope with those sort of things. Those fears in my head is that anything can happen tomorrow, so why not live for today?
Oh, definitely. And that to me brings us right back to what we were talking about, mindset. It's all about your mindset and what are you fearful of and what are you not fearful of. And it's okay to be fearful, but it's overcoming those fears, you know, it's facing them head on and asking yourself, you know, well, why am I fearful to not have a base, for instance? Because these are questions I've had to ask myself, because we are giving up the home that we're living in for the 12-month period. And I have had to ask myself, you know, so
And packing up the house as well.
why am I insecure? Because there have been insecure feelings around it. And I've had to, you know, dig deep and ask myself why. Why am I feeling insecure? And then when you break it down and you have a sensible conversation with yourself and you think about what is the worst case scenario, we'll always find somewhere to live, somewhere to stay.
We hope.
You know? Well, we will. And that's the reality, though, isn't it? Like you said in a previous video, we've both been homeless before in our lives, you know. And as much as we don't want to go back there,
no,
you know,
don't plan on going back there at all.
You do. You sort it. You know. You manage. And luckily, we've got family and friends. You know, if it was a short term, then we needed a little bit of help. You know, we'd find ways. And I think if you can face that worst case scenario outcome, then follow your dreams.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. That's my mindset.
I agree. So if you've got the same mindset as us, do subscribe and come along on the journey. And I think that's about it for today, don't you?
I think so, unless you guys want to pop anything in there. And by the way, in case you didn't get it from the gist of the conversation, neither Patrick or I feel we're too old in any shape or form.
Yes.
So yeah, let us know what you think. And would you consider doing it? Do you feel it would take a lot of bravery to do it? And do you have that bravery? We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, that first step is, was it the beginning of a journey? The first step of 1,000 steps or something like that is a journey.
Yeah, I can't think what it is now. But
It's gone now.
I know what
excuse me.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Somebody pop it in
that's
below
it.
so we know.
Every journey starts with a step or something like
first
that. Yeah,
step.
but yeah, do pop it in there because that's bugging me now. Yeah, so I think that's it for now. Do come along on our journey. Do subscribe, and that's it for now. I think.
It is, and we will speak to you again tomorrow.
Chat soon.
We look forward to it. Bye bye.